Welcome to my channel. My name is Shoshana, and I am a guide to life. I help people through the process of the spiritual awakening and to come out of their shell. And I want to talk a little bit about being able to stand alone, because during the spiritual awakening, you are going to have to be able to learn how to trust yourself no matter what anybody else says. You have to learn to be that island. You have to learn how to stand alone, because as you awaken, you're starting to break free from the consensus. You're starting to break free from the matrix or from the norm or from your societal constraints, the societal conditioning that you were brought up in. And all of your surrounding, including your parents, your children, sometimes your friends, people at the workplace, all of the people that you have in your life, many times will not understand what you're going through. Because when you start to come into your individuality and into your own unique self, and you start questioning everything that you were conditioned to believe until now. It's like the fleas in the jar when they're jumping, and you take off the lid and they still believe that they can't jump higher than that. And you start having these moments of inspiration where you see the vastness of everything, and you see all of the options and all of the possibilities, and that everything is available to you, that you can achieve greatness, that as far as you can imagine, you can start moving towards. It doesn't mean that it's always going to look like you imagined it, and most likely it won't look exactly like you imagined it, but imagination is like a push-off point. It's something that can give you inspiration and start getting you to move, getting you inspired and getting you to move in a direction that previously you may have thought that was not an option for you. And many times when you start sharing when you start going through the spiritual awakening, you start seeing the grandness of it all, and you start seeing all of the options that are open to you, and you start feeling like you're capable and able, and you get this zest for life, and you want to start moving forward, and you want to start going out of your comfort zone and doing things that excite you, and things that travel around the world. We also, during this process, it's like we can't hold down a regular 9 to 5 job anywhere and go to work for the man or for the, and it's our whole belief system shifts. Everything that we have previously thought was important, we start losing, and we start shifting into this completely different way of viewing the world and seeing things and what is important, and understanding that all this is an experience, and we want to start broadening our experience, and we start having these ideas of things that we want to do, or inspired thoughts, or we want to go here and we want to try this, we want to open a business. And a lot of times when we start sharing this with people that are around us, they will begin to dampen our dreams. And what it does is that it triggers all of our old belief systems, right? All of the, you might hear things like, do you really want to do that? But how much money is it going to cost? All the old ways of thinking. Because as we go through this spiritual awakening, we start realizing that when you have inspired, that the universe is guiding you, and that when you have this inspiration, you begin to act on it, you begin to move towards it, all of the roadblocks that you would have perceived from the beginning, you start just bypassing them, and the universe just opens up for you. So when you start moving towards your dream, somehow you always, if you have that belief and that knowledge and knowing that you will be able to do it, just like Jesus said, with a faith the size of a mustard seed, you can move mountains. If you believe that you can do it, it is within your grasp. Because if let's say you start moving towards something, but you don't really believe it, the first roadblock that you run into, you're going to be like, oh, yeah, I knew I couldn't do it. And you're going to throw up your hands. But let's say you completely believe 100% that that is an option for you, and you are doing that. During the spiritual awakening, sometimes you get these incentives, and it is beyond you. It's not something that you could have even mustered up the thought. Mustard seed, mustered up the thought. It comes in like a complete knowing that this is your path and this is what you must do. And you start creating action towards it, and you hit roadblocks along the way. All they are for you is, okay, oh, so how are we going to get around this? So how are we going to solve this? It starts becoming like a puzzle. It doesn't defer you. Defer, is that a word? Is that the word? Like, it doesn't move you from what you want to achieve. It even makes you more capable and more adamant in achieving what you want to achieve, because it's like, okay, the world brought me to this. Now I get to solve this. How can I solve this? And you start becoming very, very creative, especially when you don't have all the means and don't know the way when you're headed down the path. It just makes it that much more interesting. It's like, okay, well then, oh, here's a roadblock. Let me pull myself even further out of my comfort zone and expand myself broader and see what I come up with this time. And many times when we go to people that are in our circle of friends as we're in this process, and we start telling them, oh, I have this idea, and you want to get them excited with you and have that upward spiral with them. The people in your life, sometimes you get an idea and you start spiraling with somebody else, and it lifts it even more. You want to do some brainstorming, and they start putting it down or saying, how are you going to do that? How are you going to have money to even survive? And because they don't see, first of all, what you see, they can't see your vision. Your vision is yours. They don't have belief in it because they are still under those constraints, the old way of thinking, the thinking of scarcity. There isn't enough. How are you going to do it? They start thinking about all the negatives on it, and they can take their own thoughts and their own limitations that they perceive as limitations and put them on you. And this will trigger, it's like the universe tests you. This will trigger your old ways of thinking, because up until the spiritual awakening, you were also in this mindset of limitation, of weight, scarcity, I can't do it, fear, and how am I going to do that? Who am I to do that? And all of those limiting beliefs. So many times they will come and they will put those limiting beliefs back on you. And now you're presented with that. And a lot of times you will feel that you are falling back into your own old mindset, and it could kill your dreams. It could hold you back from achieving your greatness. And it's like the universe comes in and tests you. Okay, how much faith do you have? How much do you really believe in yourself? How much do you believe in this process? And are you willing to settle in your life because of fear? Because if somebody comes to you and they are putting fear onto your idea, people have great intentions, and they do horrible things with great intentions. People can have the best intentions. Our parents raised us and they made all sorts of mistakes, just like we made mistakes with our children, but they had good intentions. But the road to hell is paved with good intentions. It's a saying that I've heard again and again and again from my own guide to life. And so they are coming and projecting onto you their own fears and what they believe possible for themselves. So they are mirroring outwards their own fears and their own scarcity and their own beliefs. And if you take it, then it will bring you back down into that old scarcity mindset. And you'll feel the difference in emotion. Sometimes you'll come with a great idea to somebody that you love, that you want them to share with them, and they'll damper it for you and like put your fire out before it even got started. So during this spiritual awakening, first of all, you have to watch your words, and you have to, you don't throw your pearls in front of swine. That is the saying that Yeshua said, don't throw your pearls in front of swine. That means if you have something that is divine, you don't bring it out and let something that is divine, you don't expose to the defile it, or defile it, or what is the word? There's a word here. But you understand what I'm saying. If you're with me till now, you get it. And so you really have to, first of all, safeguard the things that are really close. You have to know where to share them. And not only that, sometimes when our friends, we come and present them with something that we're really excited about, and we want to do this. A lot of times they don't even know the reasoning behind what they're saying. First of all, it's because of scarcity. They may put fear into you, like, how are you going to do that? Maybe you can't do that. They're projecting their own selves onto you. But not only that, it is in their interest to hold you down next to them, because you might get out of their reach. You may expand beyond them, and then they may lose you. And so there's so many underlying intentions that many times the people themselves don't even know that those are the underlying intentions. And they can come and with a word, because our words are powerful. I've done videos about that our words are magic. Our words are powerful. It's the most powerful thing that we have is our words. And you can kill somebody's dreams with your words. So you have to be able to see, in this spiritual awakening, we're coming to a place where you have to be able to stand alone. And in the end, it's a place where you can speak your mind, and no matter what anybody else says all around you, you are so defined, and you are so in believing of yourself and in this path and in the divine, and that you are guided. Your belief and your strength is so immense that nothing can break it. It's like a pillar of truth. It's like truth has a leg to stand on. Falsity falls away. You can, when somebody is false, you can break it down with 3 words. But when somebody is standing in truth, truth is power. Truth is divine. And this path that we're on, this path to righteousness, this path to self-fulfillment, this path back to ourselves, back to our connection, our inner connection to the all, it is a path of truth, righteousness, right, setting yourself right with the universe. And part of this life experience is going out and being willing to take those chances, being willing to run after your dreams. Yeah, the fairy tale, the Disneyland fairy tale. If you can't imagine it, then you certainly can't achieve it, because you have to have some kind of idea of something in order to muster up that emotion that you want to feel in order to go after it. It doesn't always have to look like the end product. You muster up that idea, and then you let it go, and you start moving towards it, and it will open up for you. Sometimes we're dreaming of one thing, but what we're really yearning for is something completely different. We don't even know it. And so once we start moving towards this thing, it opens up doors, and it leads us this other side path to things that are much grander. And so you have to be able to imagine things that you want. And in today's society, a lot of times we are taught not to dream. Don't dream, because you may be disappointed. And so it's like telling you, you're not able to do that. You're not good enough. You probably won't achieve it. And so just settle into a life that is comfortable and easy and hem-ha, and don't go out on any limbs. But that is a cop-out. That is a not taking and not living life to the fullest. If you want an extraordinary life, you're going to have to go out on a limb sometimes and take some chances. And part of having an extraordinary life is also experiencing those disappointments. That's part of life. That's part of your expansion, being able to contain also the happiness, but also those disappointments, and seeing that they're for your higher good. Because if it didn't work out, there's a reason why it didn't work out. It is expanding you. It is richening your experience of life right? This is all about the experience, experiencing life. So experiencing all the different aspects, everything that life has to offer and going out on the limb and pulling your boundaries out of shape and trusting in yourself. So you have to be willing to stand alone. It doesn't mean that you always have to be alone and you have to be an island and shut everybody else out of your life. But it does mean that when you have a truth and you are and you have a belief and you have something that is inspiring you, you have to be able to hold that belief strong enough so that outside circumstances, believe in yourself enough so that outside circumstances don't break you down. So that is such an important message. And that's where we're all headed, into being our own individual best version of ourselves that we can possibly be every day, be a better version than yesterday. And we're already doing our work, just every day getting stronger, every day coming closer to our own knowing our power, knowing what we are capable of, going out on a limb, fulfilling our dreams. Want to go to Africa? Go to Africa. Just do those things that you want to do, because this is it. This is this one life in this avatar, in this form, and with these memories, with this certain makeup. It's this one. This is your chance. It's now. This is it. Not the one day when the planets align. They aligned. So now move on it. And I'm wishing you guys so much love and strength and encouragement and inspiration. And thank you for watching. I really do appreciate if you've gotten all the way to here. Thank you for watching. And if you would like to schedule a one-on-one with me, my contact information is below. Thank you.